Are you the lowest vibration in the room? I want you to really think about this. I want you to think about the last team meeting you went into, or maybe the one you're about to go into. I want you to think about what was your vibrational impact. So here's what happens. You guys ever been in a room where you've got 8 people in the room who are great, but there's 2 people in that room that just seem to be completely committed to taking the energy of the room? That's the lowest vibration, right? Now, most times, the lowest vibration in the room will win, because what will happen is the other 8 people in that room that are feeling great, they'll start to kind of glom onto this low energy. They'll start to ask what's wrong. They'll start to feel that lower vibration. They'll start to climb onto the complaints or whatever might be happening with these 2 people. This is when the lowest vibration wins, and all of a sudden you've got this gorgeous team meeting that started in a pretty high vibration, but now it's starting to sink. And then what happens? You walk out. There's really not a lot of stuff that you got done. Everybody feels a little bit more tired. Now you guys go and you talk around the tea machine or whatever about what this, about what just happened in this meeting. You go home, you tell your spouse, you lose a little bit of sleep over it. This ripples and ripples and ripples and ripples. And this is all because that lowest vibration was so compelling to climb into. So I don't want that to happen for you. Here's what I want instead. I want you to start noticing when you walk into a room and you've got that low vibration. First, let's just be in agreement that you're not going to be the lowest vibration. Let's just do that. We'll take care of that right now. When you walk in there, if you do a presence reboot and really get clear about how you want to show up, and you get into your space, you do your energetic xylophone check, you do all these different pieces, if you set the intention before you even open that door to walk in and to be a contribution to that room, you're not going to be the lowest vibration. So let's just assume we've got that handled. But let's say you walk into that room and you could see that those 2 people are sinking the energy of the room. Or even worse, you're facilitating the meeting and they're still sinking it. There's a lot of stuff we can do here. The most important piece here is that you hold your energetic state. That's it. You can't change their energetic state. You can't change it. But what you can do is you can hold your own state. So you think about the bubble that you've heard me talk about. You think about holding that energetic state. You think about holding your vibrational presence in an emotional state that feels really good to you, even if that's neutral, but you don't let yourself sink down to whatever you're feeling over here. So that's the trick. You walk in, you set your intention for how you want to show up, you notice where somebody else is at, and without making them wrong for it or judging them for it or making it a big deal, you notice where they're at and you walk in and you hold your state. Now, this is the best shot you have of actually bringing them up. It's not going to work to say, hey, you're bumming the room out, bring it up. It might sometimes, usually it doesn't. It's not going to work to coach them or to judge them or to add more negative energy to it. Instead, what we want to do is we want you to model the energy and the vibration that you'd like to see happening in the rest of the room. That's one of the most powerful things you can do. Now, you might notice that this is having a huge impact in the room, and at that point, it might be perfectly fine to just kind of check in, see if there's anything that they need, what's on their mind. But all the time that you're engaging with your team, you're not letting your energy sink down. You're not letting yourself glom on to that lower state. The better you are at holding your energetic state and being really intentional about how you show up, and the better your team is at doing that, the less likely the chances of that happening on a regular basis are. It's going to happen, but that's the trick, is when it does happen, to hold your space, to name it and speak to it if it's something that you feel will truly serve the room, and then to offer contribution and service of your teammates in a way that doesn't make them wrong for it. So go play with this, have fun with it. It's one of those things that the more you play with it and the more you kind of experiment with what works for you, it's going to be a lot easier for you than me just telling you what to do. But just play with it. Notice where you're at on that vibrational state, and all you need to know is if you're contributing or depleting from the room. Have fun.